This episode of Lucky's Really Long List of Movies was originally uploaded on, November 18th, 2024, and the full season is out now on Spotify or wherever you plop your little booty and listen to my sweet, loving voice. It's Lucky's Really Long List of Movies. Oh, bother. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Lucky's Really Long List of Movies. And this is a podcast where I, Lucky Damn Day, I tackle my really long list of movies that I have never seen before. And I am no film movie buff. I am quite the opposite. I'm a movie dum-dum. And I am also using this podcast as a way to treat myself for agoraphobia. Woo! Oh my god, I kind of sounded like Tigger on that last one. Oh, Tigger. Speaking of Tigger, today we are... I cannot believe the movie that we have for today. We're going to be talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Oh yeah, baby. We have survived Roar. We have found out that Cats 2019 was the living nightmare it is because of Tom Hooper. And now we get to dive into the world of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. This month is actually wild, isn't it? When I first made this category of wild animals, I knew I had to do something with animals because I wanted to watch Roar, right? And I also wanted to watch Puss in Boots too. And I didn't really want to watch animal movies that were like the animal movies where the animals die, and I didn't want to cry, and I didn't want to be bored. So I decided to dive into the other side of the animal movie universe, and here we are. I got what I was looking for, I guess. Holy shit. November is truly turning out to be one of the most unhinged categories so far, and this month is also unhinged, so it's very fitting. Anyway, let's lighten the mood. So I watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey for the very first time. Why? Well, that's a very good question to ask when talking about this movie. Just like Cats from 2019, people look at this movie and they go, why? 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 Why make a movie like this? Seriously, people were really upset that this movie, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, was made. I didn't know Winnie the Pooh had such a strong following of morality warriors. Well, he does, you know. And Winnie the Pooh is also not allowed in some parts of China. This is actually news to me. I don't know where I was in 2017, but we will talk about that later. When this movie was even rumored to be in the works, people flipped out. The horror film community exploded, and families were torn apart. Not really. But this movie is super controversial because you literally love it or you hate it. Me? What do I think about it? Well, I've seen a few things here and there in my day. A wild animal movie or two. After you've been through the roar of 1981, you think you've seen it all. Then, when you least expect it, Cats makes another comeback. So Eeyore being devoured by Pooh and Piglet and all those other emaciated Animorph storybook character freaks. Please, show me that cat in the green beret from Cats 2019. Anal Wap? Is that what its name was? Show me Anal Wap, and I will never sleep again. So let's get into it. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Let's go. Okay, so to start this story, this movie watching experience of Blood and Honey, first, we have to digest what this plot is. And to fully digest the plot, I need to be sure to explain this in a clear and concise way as to not alarm or lose any of my listeners. Just kidding! I'm still very annoying and energetic, and I am still going to do my 1-minute recap. Okay, I'm going to recap Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, in under a minute or less. Okay, and we are starting now. So Christopher Robin is still the same little metrosexual from all of our copywritten childhoods. Well, he is in this movie, and he is still friends with these talking animals, and these animals are actually not stuffed, but they're real loving freaks of nature that could speak, so they're animals that can stand upright and they can also talk. Plot twist, Christopher Robin now goes by Christopher, and he is off to college, but this meant that no one is going to the 100-acre woods to feed Pooh and his friends because they had a codependent relationship, and now Christopher Robin is gone, and now they're starting to starve. So Pooh and his friends, they start to starve, and then they eat Eeyore, but let's be real, Eeyore would probably really approve of that idea. But then Pooh and all of his friends, they vow to never talk again, especially because they just ate their friend, because Christopher Robin is a little bitch. But now, Pooh and Piglet are severely traumatized to the point of being deranged, and they killed a bunch of white ladies at an Airbnb after killing and eating a lot of people and keeping Christopher Robin hostage. Oh, and Pooh is also indestructible. And they kept Eeyore's tail. And that's the plot of the movie. And, time. Yeah, so that was the plot of the movie. I know, it's kind of just given to you at the beginning of the movie. We get this really nice, like, sketched out storybook looking Winnie the Pooh plot, and then they eat Eeyore. Woohoo! That was a donkey. Have y'all heard a donkey in real life before? They sound like they are being drugged into the depths of hell. But that's just the sound that they make when they're happy. That's the sound that they make when they just want you to, like, look at them. They make this, like, like, it is really startling. I like it when my transition sounds are on theme. Sorry if you don't. So I watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey for the very first time. So let's just dig into my first take of this bad boy. If you're new here, hi, and I'm excited that we're meeting on this episode. You're probably a little weird, aren't you? Stick around, because you're definitely welcome here. But if you are a loving listener, you know that my first take is recorded in the past. So we have to jump back into the past to hear what past Lucky had to say about watching Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey for the very first time. So here we go. We're going back into the past where I go from the couch to the mic with my first take. So let's just go ahead and just jump into the little time machine, and then we're just gonna jump right back on into the past. Here we go. Okay, hi, it's me, Past Lucky, and I just watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey for the very first time. And it was exactly what I wanted. Honestly, from the past two movies, this movie was actually quite fun. I will say that the writing for the women was shit, and it was literally just a movie about just, like, torturing and killing women. But then there was that lesbian who actually killed Piglet, and she had, like, this big dramatic moment. And I'm just like, that could have happened, like, over and over. Like, that, like, all the girls could have had something like that. I really liked the set. The set was really good. The writing was really bad. Even for Christopher Robin, the writing was bad. I needed you to do more, Christopher. I needed you to do more. You spent too much time on your knees begging and pleading to this anthropomorphic bear that you know has killed so many people. You've seen it. He's actually showered you in the blood of other people. So I think it's time to stop begging and pleading with this thing and just accept that the Winnie that you knew is gone. And now you're just dealing with Pooh. You know? Piglet. Terrifying. Winnie the Pooh was also so smooth. Not a single hair on him. And he was so yellow. He was SpongeBob yellow. And his face was terrifying, especially when it smiled. But the storyline, I do like it, because it's like, what happens to Winnie the Pooh and his friends after Christopher Robin goes off to college? You know, we found out what happened to Toy Story after Andy went off to college. So this is what happens to Winnie the Pooh and his friends when Christopher Robin goes off to college and they turn into cannibalistic, murderous beings, which is kind of sad. You know, I don't want to. Oh, also, eating Eeyore and killing and eating Eeyore? Come on. But honestly, if anyone's going to go first, it's going to be Eeyore. If anything, he has the characteristics to even volunteer, you know? I was thoroughly entertained. But also, it was like, throughout the entire movie, I had like this underlying feeling of sadness. Because I'm just like, oh man, it kind of sucks this is what happened to them. But, you know, whatever. Winnie the Pooh will return. And we only saw Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. We only saw Winnie the Pooh and Piglet in this one. And they said something about an owl, which can be a terrifying creature. A rabbit, which can be a terrifying creature, aka Donnie Darko. Very terrifying avenues they can go down with the owl and the rabbit. There's no Tigger. I guess it's copywritten. I guess Tigger is a little too, you know. Wait, is Tigger Disney? Is Winnie the Pooh Disney? How did they do this? Is Winnie the Pooh Disney? I swear to God it's Disney. I swear to God I've seen Tigger at Disney World. No, he's not Disney. Is she Disney? I think he is. What is he? How did they get this to happen? Who's responsible? I need to know. I'm gonna go find out. In just a few short seconds, you'll find out everything I found out. Okay, great, bye. Woo! Okay, we're back. We're here. We're here in the present. We are presently here together. And yeah, my first take. It is Disney. It is Disney, but it isn't Disney. And Tigger might, I don't think he's safe either. I don't think he's safe from this either. I think he's going to be in this universe as well. I'm just assuming. I couldn't really find any confirmations about it, but I know people are asking for it, and it could be a possibility. I feel like I have seen a poster, or that could have been a fever dream, or that could have been AI. Honestly, this month, who am I? Who are you? What is going on? I don't fucking know. Let's just focus on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, the first one. This movie is the first to an entire universe. Let's get into it. And that was a chicken. Have you ever heard a chicken in a real life? Why do I keep saying that? Why do I keep wanting to go in a real life? Do I not validate my own life as a real life? Well, I don't know anymore. Anyway, so that was my first take. Now we get to really dive into where this all fucking started, right? So, wow, you know, that's a lot to take in at once. Like everything I've just told you, it's a lot to take in at once. But this is a real movie. Like, it is streaming on Peacock, not Amazon Prime, not YouTube, even though I think it is on YouTube and Amazon Prime, but still, its main platform is Peacock. This movie is on the same platform as the entirety of the Bravoverse that contains every real housewife in the world. Now you can find the Pooh-niverse on Peacock. You heard me, Pooh-niverse. Yep, it's a real thing now. There's more than just one of these movies. That's right. The people who made Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey have made about like 5 to 6 more movies, or they have 5 to 6 more movies coming out. We're going to see them all by next year for sure, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So as I was looking into this movie and watching this movie, you know, you heard my first take. I was wondering, how can they do this? You know, what about Daddy Disney? Isn't Winnie the Pooh owned by Disney? And the answer to that is, yeah, Winnie the Pooh, the yellow bear with the red shirt and no pants and all his naked friends, they are owned by Disney. But Disney does not own the book from 1926 and the characters inside, which actually plays in favor to this movie because originally they were going to try to do the Disney version of Pooh, but of course they quickly found out that they couldn't rip off Disney, so instead they had to rip off the book, right? But it played in their favor because have you seen the original Winnie the Pooh book? Have you seen the actual stuffed animals this book is based on? It is nightmare-inducing. It is scary. It is sweet, but it is very scary. It's scary. And I think it really did add to the whole opening sequence because the opening sequence is just like the storybook drawings, right? And I really do love the opening sequence. They even had like a storybook teller. They had the classic, guy with like a British accent, really low, warm voice, but he's telling the story of, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's great. So, Winnie the Pooh, that creepy little children's book, that hit public domain on January 1st, 2022. Public domain. Let's talk about it. If you're an artist, or if you have worked with art in some way, shape, or form, you know about public domain. So, I've always thought public domain was when an author or someone, they died. And then after like X amount of years after they have died, that's when whatever they wrote or made becomes public domain. And that's kind of what happened here. So technically, according to what I learned at Stanford, oh yeah, that's right, I went to stanford.edu, and this is the definition I found for public domain. The term public domain refers to creative materials that are not protected by intellectual property laws such as copyright, trademark, or patent laws. The public owns these works, not an individual author or artist. Anyone can use a public domain work without obtaining permission, but no one can ever own it. Stanford has like a whole, it can get a lot more complicated than that. Like it really can get super duper complicated. And some people are against public domain. Like they're against letting this art be available to the public for people to use. And, I see where you're coming from, but I mean, chill out. It's going to be okay. It doesn't mean it erases the original author. And it's like, of course, that can be argued that, yes, it does. But in this case, I don't think Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is going to make us forget about, our childhood full of Winnie the Pooh. But anyway, so Winnie the Pooh, the children's book, in 2022 became public domain because 2022 marked the 95th year after the author, A.A. Milne. I'm sorry, I cannot say that last name. Anyway, it's 2022 is 95 years after the author died. So, Winnie the Pooh hits public domain, baby. And Winnie the Pooh hitting public domain, that catches the eye of a certain ex-corporate bro turned amateur filmmaker. And his name is... Why does everyone have these difficult names that I can't really pronounce? They're spelled so strangely. And it's not strange, it's just I've never seen it before. It's just new to me. Everything's new to me. Oh, anyway, so this guy's name, it's Rhys Frake Waterfield. Rhys Frake Waterfield, he starts to have all of these Winnie the Pooh ideas once he sees that Winnie the Pooh has hit public domain. And Rhys Frake Waterfield, he used to work in the corporate field, corporate strategy, whatever, and he left that world of security and financial stability. He left it and he went into filmmaking. And in the first 2 years that he left his corporate job, he made like a shit ton of low budget movies. So he's out here, he's getting his experience, he's trying to work on every project that he can. He's just full of ideas. And then Winnie the Pooh hits public domain and Rhys Frake Waterfield is like, I got ideas, everybody. Rhys Frake Waterfield is the writer, director, and co-producer of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Rhys stated that when he got this idea originally, he thought it was like too fun to just hand off to anyone else, and he wanted to take on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. He wanted to do this himself. I know you might be thinking, who would take this idea? A lot of people. A lot of people would take this idea. When things like Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse and Sherlock Holmes, like when they hit public domain, people start to scramble about what to do with these legendary characters, and they fucking should. And they fucking should. I love public domain. Let me tell you why. Because as an actor, hi, I know, moment of silence for my career, please. As an actor, you're starting out and you need to show the world what you can do. You need material, but then because of copyright and licensing, you can't just use anything. And you also want to use material that's good. So that's when public domain comes in. Then you do get good material that you can work with. I've had to use public domain stuff a lot, and it has helped me get work. I'm just saying it has. It's helped me get work, and it's also helped me practice. And it's helped me post my practice without any, legal troubles. You know what I mean? Social media, public domain is great. Just saying. So, Reese got to work on his passion project, right? His Passion Pooh project. And he posted it on social media. He posted that this movie was in the works. And once the internet saw these promotional photos, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey exploded. It went absolutely viral. A lot of people were laughing, others were excited and supportive, and then there was a huge group of Pooh Bear fans that said some of the foulest and darkest shit on Reddit, specifically about Reese. And the shit that they have said is dark and it is deep. You want to hear some? I'll show you some in a second. And I know, I need to get off Reddit, but Reese, he actually made an Ask Me Anything thread. And so all these people were just asking him anything. And then a lot of people were also just personally upset that Winnie the Pooh is now going to be in a horror movie. And these people were pissed. I'm talking death threats. I'm talking people are rooting for Reese to die. And these haters are going this hard for Winnie the Pooh? Oh my God. Okay, so let's look into these examples, shall we? The first one goes, first of all, this is in all caps, and the only punctuation used is an exclamation point, but it's like a cluster of exclamation points, okay? So this is all caps, exclamation points galore. Here we go. I am going to call the police, and they will shut down your studio, and your fans will hate Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and we will not be having any more sequels to Blood and Honey, no more Bambi horror movie, no more Peter Pan horror movie, and no more, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, Cinderella movie, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Cinderella? Nobody's talking about Cinderella, and if they are, please do it. I'm tired of these Disney movies and these little fairy tales that tell us that men are just gonna sweep us off our feet, take us into their castles, and save our lives. I mean, I don't want to see Cinderella, eat her mice or anything, but I mean, if she does that, whatever, I'd be down for a Cinderella movie. So there's that one. And then there is this one. This one there's punctuation and no excess of exclamation points. We even have a few quotations in here. So I'm going to read this, but the punctuation is actually in very bad spots. So I'm going to try my best reading this. Here we go. You're a fucked up individual who deserves to be locked away, demonizing one of the few quote-unquote pure stories we have left in this fucked up and broken society. Like, how fucked is your head from a scale of 1 to 10? Go make something new instead of recycling childhood stories and then come back with fucking pride. This is no flex. Absolutely pathetic. Create, not destroy. And you are no creator with this smug attitude you have, as if this is something special. Nothing you've done is revolutionary or creative in any means. I'll be happy to see when you vacate this planet. And I'm happy to see you've received death threats. I hope you receive even more during your second release and any of the other fucked up, recycled things you taint. Okay, so that was from somebody named Valuable College, and it was even edited. So there was a lot more hate than that in that thread, but it was boring. You read one death threat, you've read them all. They all have the same objective: death. They wish death. They want death. They are happy about death. Death, 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 death. Boring. But those two really stuck with me. But I tell ya, Reese, he actually handled this hate with grace. And I know that last guy, that college guy that was, that left that longer hate message, he was saying stuff like, you're not doing anything revolutionary, your shit sucks, blah, 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 blah. But Reese, he never says this about the movie. He's never like, oh, this is revolutionary. Or if he is saying it, it's because he was like put on the spot at like an awkward low budget red carpet. Or, it's I get it. Like I don't think he made Winnie the Pooh because he was like, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. And even if he was like that, so fucking what? So what? Anyway, so Reese actually handled this hate with like a lot of grace. I also think that he isn't really the type to use social media personally. Like, Reese is only online talking about his movies and shit and nothing else. And yeah, I am following Reese Frake Waterfield on Instagram, and I am getting real-time updates about his upcoming movies via his Instagram story. And I'm very impressed by the production of these movies, actually. I don't know. We'll get into that later. So, Pooh, he goes public. Reese gets inspired, and he posts about it, and the post goes viral. It went viral before it was even made. And how was this movie made anyway? Well, on a budget for starters. Let's get into production, shall we? And that was a sheep. If I'm just gonna tell you what every animal is every time you hear one, why would I stop? So even though that Reddit thread was like super mean, very harsh, some people were excited. It was like half and half, Reese, he showed up and was just being chill and lighthearted and not taking it seriously. He just seems like a guy that wants to be a producer, and his ideas are stretchy and weird. And also in that thread, I found out that he is part of the LGBTQ community. Hey. But anyway, he also provided information on how this viral movie sensation was made. First of all, this thing was shot in 10 days. Just gonna say that. This thing was shot in 10 days. And production starts with a budget of less than $100,000. Remember when we were talking about the Halloween movie, the movie Halloween, right? John Carpenter. You remember, like, we were talking about that? Remember when we learned that they were able to pull off that movie with, what was it, like $300,000 in the 70s? Like, that was a stretch. Like, $300,000 to make a movie in the 70s was a stretch. So if $300,000 wasn't enough in the 70s, then $100,000 in 2022 is definitely not enough. But much like John Carpenter, Reese made it work. So Reese made it work. For starters, we have Winnie the Pooh, the star of our show. Winnie the Pooh, Reese's production company, Jagged Edge Productions, was able to find a Winnie the Pooh horror mask at immortalmasks.com. And that's literally the face of Pooh in this movie. It's a special effects Halloween mask of Winnie the Pooh that already existed, and I cannot get over how incredible that is. I wonder if this mask existed before or after the whole, public domain thing. And then also this mask, this Pooh Bear horror mask that already existed, they literally just bought it and just used it. Like they didn't have to alter it. I think his face was CGI'd a little bit because we do see the face move. He smiles and he frowns. And I think that was done very well. It's very simple, but it actually creeped me out. Like when Pooh Bear would like smile or he would frown or just any time his face changed expression creeped me out. So bravo on that. But anyway, so remember on Reddit, right? Reese was getting so much hate for turning Pooh into a murderer. But it looks like others, like this mask maker, Immortal Masks, they had the same idea and no one's losing their mind. There's so many little things about this movie that I need to wrap my head around. The first is Pooh's defensive fan base. And then the second part is this mask. Like I don't know why. I'm just going to bore you with this part, but this does blow my mind because like what are the fucking chances? I guess the chances are pretty large because you can just type scary Winnie the Pooh mask into Google and you'll find something. But for me, I don't know. It's just crazy because I just wish I was on Jagged Edge Productions, right? And somebody was like, you are in charge of finding our star, basically. Like we have our actor, but now you need to go find the skin for the actor, and it's Winnie the Pooh as a serial killer. So, and don't spend that much money. Buy something that doesn't need too much work, okay? And then you're like sent out to go find this impossible thing, and then you type it into the internet, and the internet is like, here, Immortal Masks. And then for like $400, I know, expensive, but if you don't have to do anything to it, so $400, they can get this mask. And I just want to know what it was like to find it. I just want to know what it was like to find it because it is just crazy how perfect this mask is for this movie. And I thought it was made for the movie. It was so perfect, but it wasn't. It already existed. It was bought from the store like that and used for the movie as is. And that's crazy. So you can literally go out and buy your own Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey mask and look exactly like the thing. Maybe that isn't crazy to you, but for me, I can only imagine finding the exact costume piece you need for your cheap-ass movie, and then that's like one less puzzle to figure out, and probably one of the biggest puzzles to figure out. And they fucking figured it out. Oh, and another thing about Pooh and the public domain, Jagged Edge Productions was faced with a little problem. Remember Disney? So Pooh could not look like Disney Pooh, right? So if you're making a Winnie the Pooh thing and you think you are covered by the public domain, think again, because I swear to God, if you put a red shirt on a bottomless yellow bear named Winnie the Pooh who's obsessed with honey, Disney's gonna come for you. But if your Pooh Bear is wearing something like, I don't know, blue overalls, Timberlands, and a red flannel, you're totally fine. And another sweet little thing I learned from Reese's little AMA page, he reports that shooting this 10-day movie, he reports that the movie shoot was actually a good time. Everybody had a good time. Of course, he is the writer and he's the director, and there is hardly any behind-the-scenes info of the movie, and no actors were interviewed as far as I could find. But he says that shooting the movie was a good, fun time. Hey, and that makes me happy. So far, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey has been the best environment this month in regards to work environments. On this one, there was no reports of belittlement, no reports of hospital stays, no lion attacks, no one's getting scalped, people are not sleeping and trying to meet impossible deadlines, So this movie is very, 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 very low budget, but I think it's kind of pretty. I think it looks better than most low budget movies. It just seems like the cinematography is kind of nice. The set out in the 100-acre woods is like super cool. Like Pooh and Piglet were living together in a giant tree house made out of giant winding trees. It was very cool. But then, you you can tell that the budget fell short and the actors had to bring their own costumes and phone cases. So there is this scene where this really pretty bitchy babe was in the hot tub taking selfies and being bored, right? Love her. Well, her name was Laura or something, but her cell phone case, you remember she's like taking selfies, so we see her cell phone case all the time. And on the cell phone case that Laura is using, we read the name Natasha printed the full length and full width of the phone. And the credits confirm that Natasha indeed did play Laura. So that made me laugh. It's just, small little funny things like that are in the movie. Along with a guy who bounces back and forth between 5 different accents. A lot of them are like American. I think I heard an Australian one in there. It's all coming out of the same guy. It's all the same sentence, 5 different dialects. I don't know what's going on. And then that guy, I think, ends up getting his face slapped off. He gets his face slapped off or something. It was like a 5-on-1 death match. And it was Winnie the Pooh versus these like Crocodile Dundee hillbilly ripoffs. And Winnie the Pooh was the only one to walk away from the fight. And the fight ended with a lot of blood, explosions, a lot of blood, fire, and a lot of blood. And Winnie the Pooh, they didn't even rip a hole in his denim. I'm just saying. Okay, so this movie is shot in 10 days, right? It's produced. Great. Now it's time for the release and to also talk about why Winnie the Pooh is banned in China. And that was a bird, specifically a catbird. I grew up with catbirds. They are what they sound like. They go after cats. They literally just annoy the shit out of cats. Anyway, so Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. On paper, this movie seems like a fever dream that you should never share with anyone you respect. But then again, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey on paper also seems like a fever dream that you talk about on first dates when the conversation gets boring. But in theaters, this movie was a success, which is wild because it was never supposed to be in theaters, really. I know this sounds like I'm quoting one of the Reddit trolls from earlier, but I'm not. This movie wasn't really supposed to be in theaters. This was just supposed to be a one-night event. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was just supposed to be a one-time thing. But since the promotional videos and images online went viral, the production company that Jagged Edge Productions was working with to make this movie, because remember, you need money to make movies, and Reese put some of his money in, and then he got other production companies to help. So he got another super small production company called INT to help. Since Blood and Honey was getting so much attention online, INT was actually able to give a little bit more money to the production, which called for some reshoots. So, they spruced it up just like a little bit. But yeah, since it went viral, they were able to make the movie a little bit better. And Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey actually ended up going global. Like in theaters. Like Roar didn't even get to do that. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey went from being a one-night event to a global theatrical release. Haters, you did that. You sent Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey to Mexico, the UK, and almost Hong Kong. Bloody Pooh. I can't call it that. Yes, I can. Bloody Pooh was not able to hit theaters in Hong Kong because Winnie the Pooh is censored in China. I did not know this until I started researching why Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey couldn't get into Hong Kong. So Winnie the Pooh cannot be seen in China. He must be covered or removed, mainly the Disney version of Winnie the Pooh. That's the one that is not allowed, right? There are still Winnie the Pooh books and toys, and I think there's even like Disney World rides or something. Like that shit is still there. But otherwise, Winnie the Pooh is not fucking allowed in China. It was July 2017 when Winnie the Pooh was officially censored in China because a viral meme was flying around the internet comparing Winnie the Pooh, the Disney version, to the Chinese president, Jinping. I immediately looked this up. Because I have never heard this. I was insane in 2019. I don't know where I was. Do you? Do you remember? It wasn't even 2019. It was 2017. Shit. See, 2017, 2018. I don't know where my files are for those years. I just don't remember it. Do you? I don't. I don't know. Maybe you made memories. I was too busy erasing mine. Anyway, I looked up these images and Jinping, he got cooked. Wow. Wow. Who was the first person to point it out? You think it was in 2017? Or do you think it was from earlier? From his childhood? Either way, like Megan Thee Stallion said in scripture, hit dogs holler. And I tell you, I bet the president of China is super happy that he made the censor before Blood and Honey came out, because there are photos comparing him to the Blood and Honey Pooh, and boy, oh bother, gee whiz, Okay, so back in the US, right? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey actually got an extended runtime in theaters. This movie was only shot in 10 days and made with $50,000 to $100,000. And guess how much money it brought in? Guess how much Okay, $50,000 to $100,000. That's what it cost to make this movie. This movie brought home $5 million. Can you fucking imagine? $5 million. $5 million. People couldn't help themselves. They had to go to the theater to see this thing. People wanted to see it because they knew it would be awful. They wanted to see a killer Winnie the Pooh. They wanted to support. They wanted to hate. Whatever. People went. And I love it when movies are so sensational, you just have to see it in the theater, or else the entire social experiment is ruined for you. God, I love it. I love the stakes. Maybe I love it because it's kind of the only time I can yell, "Shut up! I haven't seen it!" without any consequences. Anyway, this movie is still seen as a campy viral phenomenon and also a giant gimmicky glob of shit. I can understand the divide, but I think we can all agree that this movie was a hit. It was a hit. $5 million? Are you fucking kidding me? You made $5 million out of $100K? I've only heard of fun like that in Vegas, And what did I think about this movie? How do I feel about it? I really liked it. Of course, the acting was stiff and the story was not really there, but it was a fun time. Come on, what do you want? Winnie the Pooh is a bloodthirsty, cannibalistic, mute, maniacal, indestructible killer in the woods, the 100-acre woods. And so is Piglet. And Piglet has a chin. Another way that they avoided copyright. Pooh, he whips Christopher Robin with Eeyore's tail. There were lesbians, and one of the lesbians fucked up Piglet to avenge her murdered girlfriend that she was moving too quickly with. What more were you looking for? I'm sorry. If you go and see this movie and you come out complaining as if you were owed a good movie when you went and you, with your own free will, bought tickets to a movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and you walk out of there disappointed, you are hurting your own feelings. This movie is fun. You go to have fun. Oh, you have fun by hating on shit? Go see this movie. Campy, silly stuff more your speed? Go see this movie. If you go see this movie because you want to take it seriously, you're already fucking up at step one. Step one. Don't take Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey so seriously. So yeah, I liked the movie. I think all the hate is a little absurd, and I gotta say it, I'm really excited to hear that this is the first of an entire universe, a Pooh-niverse. Remember, God, The Pooh-niverse also has a different name. It has a more official name. And may I introduce you to the Twisted Childhood Universe. The Twisted Childhood Universe. So catchy. Yeah, what do I know? I'm not the one with $1,000,000 ideas. So what can we expect from the Twisted Childhood Universe in the future? Well, this is a quote from Reese himself. My lifetime goal is to shit on all 7 billion childhood memories. I think I'm at 1 billion now. So, no childhood memory on the public domain is safe. And if Twisted Childhood Universe has anything to say about it, they're gonna come for all your fucking memories. Reese, he even has his eye on more recent figures, like the Teletubbies, of course. It's bound to fucking happen. I feel like it's already happened. And even the Powerpuff Girls. He said that he was playing with the idea of the professor chopping off their hands, and that's why they have little stumps. Oh my god, what if he like chops off their hands and feet because he's like jealous that they can fly and that they have like superpowers. So he's like, you don't need your feet because you could fly, and you don't need your hands because you need powers. Now I'm just gonna cut them off because I made you too strong. Okay, that's enough from me on that idea. But anyway, Reese, he can't touch the Teletubbies or the Powerpuff Girls yet. But Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 just released. Now on Peacock. And in 2025, this is what we can expect from the Twisted Childhood Universe. Are you fucking ready? I'm going to list off 4 movies for you. So we have Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, Bambi, The Reckoning, Pinocchio, Unstrung, Pooh-niverse, Monsters Assemble. You can't tell me that doesn't sound like dumb-ass fun. So dumb. So fun. I truly cannot wait for the crossover. And I have been seeing a few things here and there on IG, on Instagram. Sorry, I said the abbreviation out loud. I've been seeing some sneak peeks at Pinocchio. And I think they're going to get a full shot of Pinocchio like actually walking. And if we learned from Gremlins, that's actually extremely hard to do. And Reese has said that he's using the money from the first Winnie the Pooh. So like those millions that he got, he's using that money to make these movies. So, I'm excited to see like what that money does. But yeah, I swear to God, I think I saw them have like a puppet that was like walking. It didn't look fantastic, but I mean, it looked crazy. It looked crazy and it did look creepy. And I think I did. I think I liked the puppet. I was like, wow, that was made. Wow. So I'm excited for that. I think Bambi sounds insane, right? Bambi, the Reckoning. I'm just kind of imagining Bambi with a cigar and also like war paint on the face and maybe like a machine gun. And Bambi's like out in the woods, like looking for the hunter that like killed his mom. Oh, I wonder if Thumper is going to be in there. Oh my gosh. And Peter Pan has always freaked me out. I'm sorry. So that one worries me. But we'll see. We'll see. Peter Pan really, I don't know. I never liked the cartoon. I liked the live action with Jeremy Sumpter. He was one of my first crushes. I liked that one. And I like all the live action Peter Pan stuff. The animated Peter Pan, I don't know. I like Tinkerbell. That's pretty much it. And I gotta add in one last little point. Some people thought this movie did not have an ounce of humor. I'm sorry. Pooh Bear has no business turning his head that quickly like he did in this movie. And he also is a really fast runner. And he's incredibly smooth. And he slaps people to death. And he's indestructible. Like, what the You're not funny. If you watch this movie and you can't find an ounce of humor, have you checked your asshole for your funny bone? Maybe that could explain a lot for you. I don't know. I just thought this movie was really stupid, and I'm glad I found something more my speed. You know what I mean? I like this movie. And that is all I have for you on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I know. It seems like just the beginning. And I think last week I told y'all I was gonna convince you that Winnie the Pooh was the next Mike Myers. That's before I did all this research, because when I was watching the movie, I saw all of the Halloween influences. I saw a lot of Michael Myers influences, and I was like, oh my God, Winnie the Pooh is just like Michael Myers. Excuse me. But Winnie the Pooh, he's a combination of a few different influences, so I take that back. I was thinking about the whole Sailor Moon thing, too. I was like, could Sailor Moon kill Winnie the Pooh? Blood and honey. And then I was like, would she have conflicting feelings about killing a bear, a fairy tale bear? But then I also thought about the Care Bears, and I was like, okay, so if this is like Sailor Moon and the Care Bears post Michael Myers, then Sailor Moon and the Care Bears, they might have some kind of like camaraderie. And wherever Sailor Moon will fall short, the Care Bears will come in, because the Care Bears are just like, they'll fight a bear. They are bears. And what if it was like Grumpy Bear versus Winnie the Pooh? Who would come out? Because it's like, yeah, I know. Winnie the Pooh is like indestructible. Okay, so who's to say that all fairy tale bears in this universe aren't indestructible? What if Grumpy is also from the same breed and Grumpy is also indestructible? Who would win? I think Grumpy would find out what happened to Eeyore and take it personally and start to hunt Pooh and Piglet. I think that's what Grumpy would do. Anyway, that's all I have for you today on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I hope you liked it. Hope you had fun. I did. I had fun with this one. This one was light, but also weird, and I liked it. And it was a movie that I've been wanting to see because I saw it come out and I was like, what the absolute fuck? And I got to see it. I actually got to watch it, and I got to research it. Now I got to talk about it, and I subjected you to all of it. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you like this episode, like, subscribe, comment. Well, I don't know what you do. People have tried to comment on my podcast before. They said they left some really nice stuff. I never get to see it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. If you want me to see stuff, you can interact with my Instagram and TikTok at lucky.damn.day. If you want, it's up to you. You don't have to. But next week, I'm going to be watching a movie that I've been wanting to watch since it came out. I remember seeing this movie poster in the Dollar Theater in my hometown, and I was like, why the fuck would anybody buy tickets to go see that movie? Because the title tells you everything in the movie. What movie am I talking about? Snakes on a plane. Snakes on a plane. Too many snakes on this motherfucking plane. There's too many motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. That is what I'm going to watch next week. I'm very excited to see it. You guys know I love Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know what the fuck this movie could be about, even though it is obviously about snakes on a plane. Why? And how do you make a movie out of that? I'll figure it out next week. I'll see you there. Bye. Love you. Drink water. Take care of yourselves. And don't take the haters seriously. All right. Bye. Love you.